Welcome to the 79th video in our series about Unix tools. In the previous two videos, we worked with a .zip format archive. However, it was a simple one and didn't have any comments embedded within it. In video 77, I told you there are two types of comments that the zip format supports: a global comment for the entire archive and per file comments. To test this commenting feature, I'll have to show you how to add those to an archive using zip, and then how to access them using unzip. While most zip archives do not use the comments, the ones that do expect you to read them for what is often critical information, and we must know how to do that. So, that's a lot of talk. Let's do it. If we look at our zip files, you'll remember this one from 349. So that's the one we're using. And if we take a good look at it with VL, you'll see, wow, there's so much that went off the screen. I can't actually see anything. And the reason why is because we did a VL with no archive name. And so it tells us the build options. If we put the archive name, then we get the output we expect, which tells us the files, and it shows there are no zip comments. When you want to remember the command line options for a Unix tool, often you can add a -H like that. And you'll see that when you do this, add zip file comment right there. So, wonderful. Let's do a zip and add the zip file comment to this archive. And you see it prompts and waits for you, and it tells you end with a line that just has dot and nothing else. So try not to make any typos, because this isn't a full editor. It's more primitive. What kind of comment would we give? Demonstration of how to build both static and shared libraries on a Linux system using GCC. These are in the C language. And then I'll put a dot by itself, and you see we seem to be finished. Let's go back and try that unzip -VL of our archive again and see if there's any difference in the output. And you can see, oh, look, there is our zip file comment. And it can be as many lines as you want to type. So, some people don't use a README file. Instead, they put everything in the zip file comment. And you're immediately going to ask, can I just read the comment? I don't want to see this part. I just want to read the comment. Can I do that? Well, try unzip -Z of your archive name. And you'll see, yes, I can get just this is the global zip file comment. It's a comment on the entire contents of this zip file. And it's meant to be talking about everything within the zip. It's global. Okay, good. We've achieved our first goal, which was to be able to access global zip file comments. And as a side effect, we learned how to add one to an archive. What about per file comments? In this example, almost everything is obvious. But it's hard to know why we have two makefiles and what each one does. So we might want to add some comments about how to work with those. And you're going to wonder, well, how do I do that? Let's go back to zip minus h again and look at that output. And we'll see, add one-line comments. And it doesn't say it here in this short summary, but that's one-line comments per file. So, okay, I feel pretty good. This is the name of my archive. And if you remember, there were two files, yo makefile and yo makefile2. So let's add comments just to those two files. So that we're going to modify, so we use the zip tool. Remember, zip is for create and update. Unzip is for unpacking. So zip, we want to do that one-line comments. We need to give the archive name, and then we need to say the files that we want to do comments for. And be careful, because even though I list makefile first, it may not be the first one that gets a comment. You have to read the screen. Are we ready? Press enter, and you can see the first one he asked for is makefile2. So be careful. Even though we listed makefile first, it's asking about makefile2. And we can put our one-line comment in there, which is, what? Think. This makefile creates a shared library and an application that uses it. And you press enter, and you notice because it's one line, you don't have to put the dot. And now it's asking us about yo makefile. And we could say, this makefile creates a static library and an application that uses it. And we press enter, and it looks like we're done. So if we take a look at our zip files, you can see from the date time here, this file has been updated. We didn't update this name because we updated the file in place. What do we get when we do an unzip minus VL of our archive? And you can see, not only do you get the zip file comment, for yo makefile2, it says this makefile creates a shared library and an application that uses it. And for yo makefile, it has a comment, this makefile creates a static library and an application that uses it. And I didn't put comments on the other files. With -z, we were able to extract only the global comment. Whoop, I need to be careful with my mouse. More careful. Is there any way to get just the comment for your makefile? No. Unfortunately, no. -VL is going to be your best option. There are other ways to see it, but that one is the shortest command that still displays this stuff. And you say, well, if I had 1,000 files, I'll never see it. Sure you would, because you'd be smart and you'd put the output somewhere, somewhere.txt. And then you could VI somewhere.txt, and you could read whatever output you want to read, and then you could remove somewhere.txt. You use the shell redirection feature, the greater than, to take the output of this command that went to standard out, which means all the normal output, and it puts it in this file. And we don't have to use VI. We could use cat, we could use head, we could use nano, whatever you wanted to use. So we've learned several things in this video. Let's go back and make sure we accomplished our goals. We had two goals: reading the global comment And that did it. And the other one was read per file comments, and we learned unzip minus VL, whatever .zip. And then you can redirect, or you could run it, you could run it to a filter. You could run it to some file.txt, and then, nano some file.txt. Or if it's short, you could just send it to the screen. And after you nanoed it, you'd probably want to get rid of it. If you haven't seen this before, this is a shell script and operator, and what it says is if the thing on the left worked, keep going. If the thing on the left did not work, stop. Okay? And so if the unzip fails for some reason, it won't try the nano and everything. If the unzip works and the nano works, it will run the delete. If the nano doesn't work for some reason, maybe you don't have nano on your system, then it won't delete because it'll stop when it gets the error. Okay, we've once again reached our incredibly short time limit for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you come back for our next video. We've completed most of what we wanted to do with zip. The last thing left, which will be the subject of the next video, is how do you update your archive if you change some files and you want to just change some of the files in the archive. Update in place. Okay. Until then, thank you for listening.